We were talking about the gap between the requirement of the industry and what we are offering to them. Now, before that, we move forward what industry is and what are the requirements, how we can fill that gap. Uh, can somebody share what industry 4.0 is these days? We talk a lot about industry 4.0. Anybody, any idea what is industry 4.0? Any of my participants, please? Any participant who is aware what we call as industry 4.0?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I am from IMS Engineering College.
Yeah.
Uh, Industry 4.0 means automation used in industry, that is, use of IoT and robotics in
Hmm.
different industrial applications.
Okay. Okay. That's great. That's great. But when my friend, why we call it 4.0? Any idea?
Before that, there are three industrial revolutions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this
So
is the
this,
fourth industrial revolution is what we are going through. And whenever there has been a major change in the manufacturing processes, there has been an industrial revolution. And we are almost at the fag end of fourth industrial revolution because fifth industrial revolution has already knocked the doors in the developed countries. But still, India is still at 4.0. And in some of the industries, we are struggling between 3 and 4 also. Okay, so that is Industry 4.0. My friend said that we are talking of IoT, we are talking of cyber security, we are talking of robotics, everything and everything. So the point is that how do we teach our students the practical skills what they learn in the theory classes? Any idea how we can do that? See, industry these days is purely and purely looking for working hands. Those who can really work with their hands, bring in innovation, bring in creativity, and improve the, uh, I should say, the growth of the company or the technology that they are using. So, any idea how we can make our students do like that? Any of my colleagues who are attending this workshop?
Very good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, I believe giving the students say problems on which they can actually work on
Hmm.
experientially. Uh, After teaching them the concepts and giving them a clarity, that will
Hmm.
definitely help in the project-based learnings because they know the concepts also, and then putting those concepts into execution is something which we can imbibe.
Okay. Okay. So we are talking of giving them practical training after we have given them a theoretical training, right? What we are doing today is say after one semester or 1 year, we give them a project, small project, or after 2 years we give them a small project and they are supposed to execute the project. Am I right, sir?
But then yes, it is. But then I believe the gap remains that we only focus on the project-based learning as per the curriculum. Rather, we should keep it on a continuous basis and keep on involving the students in the projects on short-term projects.
Exactly, that is what is required. We just cannot believe in giving them the project of the end of 1 year or 2 years. It has to be a continuous learning when we are talking of projects. And somebody has very rightly said that if we tell them anything in the classroom, theory classes, they are likely to forget. If we show them what is happening, they might remember. If we involve them that how the things are being done, they will understand it And if they do it with their own hands, they will create something new. We are talking of millennium population these days, and they are much more aware of the facts. They are much more aware of the informations which are available. Unless or until they do it with their own hands, they cannot be creative. And today, if we look at the industry, they are looking for creative people, they are looking for innovative people. They are not looking for ordinary engineering graduates. They are not looking for people who have enough theoretical knowledge. What they are looking for is that can that theoretical knowledge be used by them in practical way. And that is where we come across project based learning. Now we have generally two type of concepts. One we call as the project based learning, and second is learning before the project. Most of the institutes today are still into learning before projects. That means that for 6 months we'll keep on telling them, teaching them the theoretical part of it, and then we'll give them the project which they will do. But when we talk of project based learning, what we are talking of is that they will learn out of projects. We will give, as one of our colleagues said, we will give them the fundamentals of engineering, we will give them the fundamentals of the subject, but main learning will come when they apply that learning in a small projects. It can be a 1 hour project, it can be 1 day project, it can be 1 week project, it can be anything. Because here they have to develop their own ideas. Here they have to develop their own goals and strategies how to complete the project. Now, if I generalize few things, that we take our students to our laboratories, ask them to perform few experiments, and in 70% of the experiments will be the same which were done by their seniors last year or 2 years back. This is what generally happens. But at that time, the learning is very, very less, because there they don't have to develop their own ideas. Their creativity has not come out. So the present pedagogy of students to follow the instructions of the faculty member are no more relevant for the industry. There, nobody is going to give them the instructions. They have to be self motivated, they have to be self creative. And that gap, once it is filled, I'm sure there is no reason that when we talk of unemployment among engineers, it will never remain. There is a myth that the number of job opportunities are less in India, whereas the number of students passing out from our institutes are much higher. Well, my experience and my research as on today also says that every industry has vacancies for engineers, but they are looking for the engineers that fit into their working, those who can add value to the company, and that is what is missing. We have engineers, enough of knowledge, but lacking in the practical aspect of it. Just an example, if I say, we do teach all our students Newton's three laws. And When they appear for the exam, we tell them to write Newton's three laws and maybe give one or two all examples. But how to use those three laws in a daily life? Are they aware of it? Have they ever done it? That is what I'm trying to say, that we give them the basics of the fundamentals or the subject, but let them carry out the projects based on that basic learning. Let's not wait for 6 months to 1 year for the project time to come and then they will do the project. And if I might be slightly overreacting to it, but 70% of the students will do a project which was done maybe 2 years or 3 years back. That is not the learning we are looking for. When we say that let's do a project, now we the faculty members has a knowledge, we give directions to the students, they follow our directions, they do learn from the directions that we give, the advice that we give, and the students will complete the project, present it before a committee, and well, yes, he has done a good project. But today, the requirement is, friends, that we are only mentors to them. We can only guide them. Let them take their own decisions. Let them do the project of their own. If they come to us, we will certainly guide them, but they must be allowed to develop their own ideas. In many cases, they might fail. Well, fine, it's okay. Because in industry also, when you are creating something new, when you are innovating something new, 70% chances are that you will fail. But the industry is not looking at the word failure, they are looking at whether he tried something new or not. We have a myth, and our students have generally a myth, that if we start something, we are not able to reach the solution, we will be told to work more properly, we will be told that I am a failure, we couldn't achieve the results. No. Today, the industry is looking at, did he try something new or not? So let the students work with their own hands, with the small knowledge they have. They will develop the knowledge during completion of the projects. And that is what Einstein once said: I do not teach my pupils, I only attempt to provide conditions in which they can learn. So it is not the classroom teaching which is required, it is the practical use of that teaching or that information. Now, if we really look at today's digital world, friends, the information, the amount of information that is available with us or with the students is almost the same. But are they able to convert that information into knowledge is the most important point. In our classroom, we will again give them some more information, but how to convert that information into knowledge is possible only and only through project-based learnings. Let's not work on projects at the end of 2 semesters. Let it be a continuous daily work. do something new, think something new. That is what we call today as the era of creativity and innovation. So at this point, I would request my colleagues to share that are they doing or carrying out project-based learnings or learning before the project. Any of the faculty member who would like to share his or her experience in this line? What has been their criteria of teaching the students the practical aspects of the theory? Anybody? We have Indu ma'am, we have Dr. Monica. Dr. Monica,
Yes, sir.
would you like to respond that how you carry out the project work in your institute?
Actually, sir, we gave some real time problems to the students, like students who wants to participate in the competitions like hackathon and e-andra.
Yeah.
So we give them a real time solution,
Mm.
a real time problem, and they came up with a solution, and we help them to implement that solution.
Okay.
So this comes under the project based learning, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right.
So
So, ma'am, do you think there is a difference between those students who do not participate in such events and those who participate?
yes, sir, there is a huge difference. They are advanced learners, and we trained them for these type of activities. And the students who are not having that type of knowledge, so we firstly give them problem also, and
Mm.
we also give them a solution also, and then everything we let them go. If they come up with a solution, that's fine, otherwise we give them a hint that they can do it in this way.
Yeah.
So that is another way of teaching, and project based learning is another thing. So there
That's
are two types of students.
that's very right, ma'am. That's very right. So now you understand the difference between those students who really undertake the projects of their own, try to find their own
Yes,
solutions, and I'm sure you must have seen the difference while the placement drives are going on in your institute.
yes, definitely, sir.
So
Yes,
that is what I'm trying to again and again emphasize that the industry today, you go to any industry, and if you are creative, you are innovative, they would welcome even if we say that they don't have the vacancies. First is that every industry today has a vacancy for a creator and an innovator. So I would like to put more emphasis on what she said as some of the events which are being organized. Now, this I'm sure everybody knows that how much we learn from our mistake when we do the things with our practical hand. Uh, a lot of learning does happen when we commit mistakes. The point here is that how do we make students creative and impart hands-on training? Now, first thing that we have to understand is, and which is yet to be followed in most of the institute, is that the embargo of UGC on LTP, the lectures, the tutorials, and the practical, there was some ratio which was given about 40%, 30 or 20%, something like that. That has been lifted. We have yet to incorporate in most of the institutes, but NAP very clearly says that we can reduce our number of lectures and increase our practicals or projects so that the students can learn more from what they do in the projects rather than a theory in the classroom. Because what we are teaching them is half of it is known to them through net, or they can study it. Our challenge is to convert that information which is available on the net into knowledge. And that is the best can be done partially through theory and partially through projects that we give to them. I'll just give you a small exercise. I hope the participants are present there. This is a 1 minute assignment, and we want you to list as many unusual uses of bricks. The usual is that we can build a house, we can build a bridge, we can build something like that. But can we list down any unusual use of brick? Are the participants with me?
Yes, sir.
So if the part can we take 1 minute to write down what are the unusual uses of bricks? It's not a competition. I just want you to use your brain and write down. Dr. Monica,
Yes, sir.
anybody else who would like to start sharing? Let's see.
Sir,
Any?
as far as I can think of, one we can use it as a tea toasters,
Okay.
and that should be unusual, na? So,
Yeah.
or secondly, as a door stopper,
Yes. Absolutely.
and
Maybe as a paperweight.
maybe yes, yes, it can be used as a paperweight.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else who has written down?
Uh, hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
I would like to add some points like for the gardening landscape
Yeah.
to use. Sometimes we have seen that some are using for the furniture like book shelves or making the bed. That is means DIY type of furniture,
Right.
or else outdoor fire pit like now that's where we are using some garden picnic type of things, fire or using things barbecue things, all these things we can prepare all these.
Absolutely right.
Another, as Monica ma'am said, that doorstep,
Yeah.
bookend. And another thing, if we are getting some hollow type of bricks, all these things, we can
Right.
use it as a planting of the plant, all these material, because it
Absolutely.
will act as a pot, sir.
Absolutely right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Any
Good
of the
morning, sir.
friends? Please go
Good
ahead.
morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, we have been using these bricks. Let's say, if I talk of my grandmother and all that, they have,
Mhm.
whenever there was an injury, we
Yeah.
used to have that stone being heated in the fire, and then using the heat of that stone, which is a very good source of infrared radiations, to
Yeah.
heal upon or to cure upon.
Right. Right. Absolutely. See, the idea of this was that when we said 1 minute, we thought something different, how to use it. This is what we mean by creativity. When we say that my mind is not working in the usual direction, it is working in a different direction. Can I make use of the bricks somewhere else? Can I use this pen and eraser in some other way? That is what, when I said creativity among students, if we start giving them such innovative problems in the classroom, maybe for 2 to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, let them think in a different way, that will make them creative. They will get into a habit of thinking differently. This is what I meant was project based learnings, making them creative, making them to think in a different way than what we usually think of. This may not be related to their curriculum, this may not be related to our subject, but at the end of the day, what we want is that they have to think in a different way. And that is what the industry is looking at. And once they get into the habit of thinking in the classrooms or in the tutorials, when they do their projects, they will start in a different way. They will start with a different setup. That project, how to do it, it may be absolutely different from what we think as faculty members. They might come out with an innovative solution to the problem which we ourselves has never encountered or thought of. So that is what I again and again try to emphasize. Let them think. We will give them the solution only and only if either they have failed to come out with a practical solution and failed, or if during the process we feel that it might harm or the damage them, then only we tell them to wait and listen. Otherwise, let them fail. And industry today is looking for failures, because we know that 10 times he might fail, 11th time he will come out with a solution which has not been thought of even by the senior officers. That is what is required, friends. So we, as a project-based learning, we have to give them the opportunity to develop their knowledge and skills. We just cannot spoon feed the knowledge. They have to develop the knowledge. And let them engage in projects. Let there be a challenges. Let there be a problems. We will give the problems for which we also don't have a solution. And the possibility is they will come out with the right solution. Because today we are talking of eliminating memorization, or what we call as teacher-led instructions. We may have to change our pedagogy of teaching. Yes, this pedagogy is slightly difficult because we have to think ourselves of the project. We have to think that how they can do it. We may have to think of a number of projects, small, medium, large. It consumes time, but it makes our students employable. Now, when the government of India yesterday said that they want to give training or internship to the students across the industry, say 500 top industry, maybe they will go beyond that. The idea is that they will go there, learn what is happening in the industry, come out with a solution, and they will develop their knowledge and skills. Just giving them internship, okay, you go there, you spend some time, come back and get some theoretical knowledge, is not the purpose of what has been the announcement. So we have to give them the projects for which they are passionate about it. They want to learn about it. Let it be a team project. And it should be taken as a fun. When we talk of new education policy, again and again we are talking of less of content, more of critical thinking, multidisciplinary approach, innovation, adaptation, absorption of new knowledge. Now, many times I also used to think that what we are teaching today, when we used to make curriculums along with Dr. Gupta, that today what we are making a curriculum, will it be relevant after 2 years? Well, in 90% cases, we always say no, may not be. Some portion might be relevant, some portion may not be relevant. But in the process, what we are trying to create is innovators. Because whatever technology is available today, and if they think in a different way out of the box, whatever technology they will encounter once they get out of the institute, they will be able to adapt that technology and innovate further on that. So that era when we used to appear for the interview, when we used to go for a job, that tell me what is thermodynamics, or tell me what is electrical power, or tell me what is tensile strength. Now nobody wants to know whether you know what is tensile strength or not, because it is available on the net. But how to use the tensile strength when a structure is being built, that is what people are looking for. And we are talking of experiential learning, friends. Invention oriented, learner oriented, discussion oriented. Let us give a small innovative projects like today we did for 1 minute, right? We discussed it with 3 or 4 participants. What do they think? Everybody's thinking was different. Now imagine that when these 3 or 4 participants join hands to do a project, how much of different learnings get combined to find a solution. Somebody might say it is, like he said, that it is good for healing purpose. Others may not be aware of it. Somebody said it can be used as number of steps, as a paperweight, as a door stopper. So now you see that three brains, when they have sit together and try to find a solution, how many options they have got. But if they keep on repeating the experiments which were done last year by the seniors, it will not give any learning to them. So that's why I keep on, I always say, and whenever we go for interviewing people for the jobs, our focus is not on what they know about in theory. We want to know that how many projects they have done with their own hands and what was the learning from those projects. So that is how that gap can be built up. So that is again and again I'm trying to say, please change the pedagogy of teaching. Let's make it more industrial oriented. Project work, laboratory work, work oriented lectures. And again, I'm saying LTP. And here, one caution is there, that when we say that we will reduce our number of hours of theoretical teaching and increase practical teaching, we have to make sure that we are able to keep an eye what the students are doing. Are they doing it sincerely? And what are the obstacles they are facing? So the pedagogy might shift to a difficult one, but it will give our students an edge over the others. And there are always myths. Whenever I had gone to few engineering and management institutes, they say that only the toppers are creative, which is absolute myth. Anybody can be creative. Then some of the faculty members said time is a limitation. We have got only 4 weeks or 8 weeks to do a project. Let there be a project every week. Let there be a project every month. Small projects. The student should be learning through the project rather than learning first and then doing the project. Many of the students will say, I am not creative. The projects are very high tech. See, all these are myths. Everybody can be creative. The projects are never high tech. We just have to be multidisciplinary. We may have to learn something of the other stream also. An electronics engineer may have to learn something of the software, may have to learn something about mechanical or electrical also. Only then he can be a successful engineer. Now, which projects are students undertake and how do we identify? Anybody who would like to respond, please?
Sir, I'd like to contribute. I mean,
Yeah, please.
I don't know whether it's classified as a project or not, but I'm a human resource management person. So,
Okay.
while teaching, say, the manpower planning, I had given a small project to the students regarding finding out the job description
Mhm.
of the people who are working
Can
in
you
the
repeat again because there
organization.
is this
So,
breakage in your
they went
voice?
into the
Can
organization.
you repeat, please?
Yes, sir. I'm saying I
Mhm.
am a faculty of human resource management, and while I had taught, say, human resource planning, I just given a project, a small project to the
Mhm.
students to identify the job description of the people in the organization as to what they are doing actually.
Okay.
So this was a very fruitful small time project, which the students also appreciated because they met all the people who were there. They interviewed them.
Mhm.
They got to know as to what the people actually in the organization are doing,
Mhm.
and side by side they actually did frame the job description
Yeah.
of the people working in the organization alongside the job specification too.
Absolutely.
Yes, so
So
these are, yes,
see now, it might be what you said. It is a small project, right? But if you ask those students who went and interviewed maybe about 20 or 30 people, the learning that they have got, the communication, how to communicate with these people, how to understand what they are doing, how to write down their job descriptions, are the job descriptions overlapping or not, and then how to present it to you. So now you can imagine that once these people go to an industry and go into an HR department, they are well trained for this job. Am I right?
yes, sir. They did get an idea about job descriptions and specification, and they were very happy about the small task.
So that is what I'm trying to say. Had you told them in your office and given them a lecture what is job description is, and this is how the people are given the assignments, they may not have learnt it. But once they go and talk to people, that is what the learning is. Whether it is engineering, whether it is human resource management, whether it is quality control, whether whatever it can be an IT project also. The point here is that let them go, work with their own hands, talk to people. And I'm sure there must be diversity in your organization to the people they have gone or in the institute. Somebody might be from North India, somebody might be from South India, somebody might be from one religion, somebody must be from the second religion. How to talk to them, how to understand what they are trying to say, and how to write it down in a proper way. That is what a project is.
Exactly, sir.
So, this is what I am trying to again and again emphasize, that instead of giving them a theoretical knowledge, let them go to the field. Let them go and understand the realities of life. And when they have done the job description, they must have observed that there are some jobs which are overlapped. And that is another learning for them, that we have to provide them job descriptions so that there is no overlapping in future. So this is the learning that the students are likely to get. Okay, anybody else who would like to share that how they identify the projects? One of our colleagues has very clearly identified that how in the human resource management the projects are identified. Anybody else?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I am a faculty in Environmental Science and Engineering from SRM University, AP. So, I am taking the course of Green Economy, open elective course in our university for the computer science students.
Fine.
So, as a project work, I am giving them to do a survey thing.
Hmm.
So as the environment is means the pollution and the waste management things are involved in that. So I am asking them to go to the field to talk to the people, to the local people, and to collect data that what are the problems they are facing.
Hmm.
So, and I am also asking because some of the students they are not so much dedicated. So I am asking them to take a geotagged photo as well, so
Hmm.
that it should be a real thing and they should know that what is happening surrounding in the surrounding environment.
That's great.
So yeah, so they are collecting, some of the students are dedicated and motivated too. So they are collecting the real time means what is happening, the data, talking to the people, and then they are bringing that to me as a report form. They are submitting the thing as a report form, and then the analysis means I'm examining them and assessing them with marks.
So, ma'am, now can you imagine the amount of learning they have?
Yes, they can have means in the class only they are learning the theory.
Yeah.
So they are thinking that environment means they are not aware about what is happening, and the pollution and waste is a serious problem nowadays.
Right.
But when they are going to the field, then they can identify that yes, people are facing all the problems.
Hmm.
And as the students of computer science, they only know about that laptop, computer, electronics, and AC room.
Right.
So
Right.
when they are going to the field, they
Yeah.
can find what are the actual problems the people are facing. So that is my main motto
So
for
one
the.
is they become multidisciplinary. Computer
Yes,
they learn in the classroom.
yes,
Environment they learn outside, right?
yes, yes, sir.
And certainly one day you will find that they have made an app how to dispose of the solid wastes,
Yes, sir.
because now they know what is the solid waste is in case they have gone through that,
Okay.
and what computers can do. Maybe they can integrate and make an app that what type of solids are being generated, what are where are they lying, how to dispose them off.
Yes,
They can certainly come out with an innovative solution to the problems.
yes. Now they are some of the students are also doing, sir, the predictive model
Yeah.
for the West.
So now, just to add to it, I'm sure they must also be doing that. What is happening to the waste that is being generated at their home? Who is picking it up? Who is disposing it off? How it is being treated? How much labor and amount of money is required to dispose of the waste, the solid waste which is generated at our home? Am I right, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, and then they will realize that whatever I'm generating, how much effort is required to dispose it off. Should I generate so much of the waste or not?
Yes, sir.
So, this is what we are trying to inculcate, that habit of learning new things. And again, I'm trying to say one thing: whatever we are teaching them today might be obsolete in another 3 years. But are they a good learner? Are they ready to adopt the new technology? Are they ready to experiment with the new technology or not? We'll cover tomorrow what we are talking of the projects, how we can do that. But since I think, yeah, we still have some time. So the idea is to stimulate curiosity in them. What ma'am was talking about, that they go to the field, try to talk to people, understand, so they are curious to know what is happening into the environment, why it is getting polluted, why there is the temperature of the earth is rising. It is the curiosity we want to create in them, and curiosity will bring creativity. Let's give them real world problems. They will think, they will write down. Now, ma'am said they give the report in writing. So that means their writing communication improves. They go and talk to the people, their verbal communication gets improved. Their teamwork, their networking gets improved. That is what industry is looking at. I'll just show you a few of the projects which some of the students have done in engineering. We will come back to the students of IT also. This is a small innovation done by an intern in an industry where I was working. That was in a hydraulic system, how to detect the abnormalities. If the vibration of the hydraulic motor has increased, the temperature has gone up, or the current being drawn has gone up, he has made just a small sensor which, when fitted, will give me the temperature of the motor, will give me the vibration of the motor, and will help me to find out that what is going to happen few hours or few days from now if I don't improve. Small project which could be done, I think he did it in 15 days. A very, very economical sensors he used. That's all. Somebody made a 3-speed gearbox. Not that this is a practical model which has to be used by the automobile, but the idea is that now he understands what is a gearbox. Small bird flapping machine. So what we are trying to say is these small projects which might take 10 days, 15 days, and even if they do it only in their practical classes or in their tutorial classes, they will learn a lot out of it. Let it be a teamwork. Somebody had uh, invented this, how to measure the power of a solar. Password authentication for the electricians. Now, this problem was faced. How this problem came up? Somebody was working on the overhead line in the electricity board. After switching off the main switch, the shift gets changed. A new supervisor comes without realizing that somebody is working in the on the overhead line. He switched on the main switch, and unfortunately the person working lost his life. So this boy comes across this incident and he says that why can't I make it a password protection? The password is known only to the person who is working on the line. Unless or until he comes back, fills in the password, the main switch cannot be switched on. A very simple solution, but well thought of, which was probably implemented in his area of working. So I'm talking of small such projects, sun tracking of solar panels, automatic street light controls, PLC based solar panel cleaning system. So we always say the solar system is installed at a height where it is very difficult to approach and clean the panels because a lot of dust gets accumulated. Well, a person has devised a PLC-based system that automatically the sprinklers will get switched on. So I'm talking of such projects, and recently somebody did a very good project of a government store. It was an IT project done by an intern, and it was done in Chandigarh. And he tried to find out that what is the preference of the buyers as far as the governments are concerned. So, after analyzing a lot of data, he could come out that these days the youngsters prefer a dark color of the t-shirts. They prefer to visit the garment store on Saturdays and Sundays. The size which is most bought is say 36 or 38. The people from the south have a different preference from the people from the north. Those who are at a lower middle class families, they go to a different garment store. Those who are in a higher middle class families, they go to a different store. And then they also find out that which is the time when the garment store should fill up its inventories, because the weather keeps on changing. So a lot of work was done. It's very small project. It took them about, I think, 15 days to analyze the whole data, and they came out with the solution that the inventory of such and such color, of such and such size, should be available at such and such store in such and such shelf. So what I'm trying is that these practical issues, when they come across it, they try to get solutions much faster than we have ever thought of. So friends, this is what I thought we will discuss today. Now I will request the participants to join and share their experiences with me. We have Ashutosh Verma ji. Would you like to share some experience? We
Sir,
have, yeah, please.
if I talk about the session, I mean, I'll surely say that it was really an enlightening session because there are so many things which I got to learn, especially because the practice has been that we give projects after, which is the thing. But now I believe I'll definitely put it into practice that bring short-term projects. But then, sir, my only query remains, technical and management is altogether different because over there the projects can be more easily identified, right? But in terms of say management, because more or less we have theoretical subjects, so it becomes a little tough for us, to identify the projects. Can you just help me out with that? How we can work on?
Let's talk of say marketing. Management, marketing is a part of the management.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Okay. Let's see that why did Tata became the that IPL's lead advertiser or whatever we may say. Can we try it and find out?
Can you, sir, please come again? Your voice was breaking.
Tata sponsored the IPL.
Yes, sir.
Why did they do it?
I've, I mean, one can be
It has
obviously.
to be. It has to be researched.
Yes, yes, yes,
A
yes,
small project.
yes, sir.
Let them go to the market. Talk to the Tata people. Talk to somebody else. Come out with their own ideas. When they
Okay.
come back to you with five different ideas, you can sit down and then see why did Tata? Why not Tata Motors? Why not Tata Power? Why Tata? I'm talking of a very small project,
Right, sir.
right? So, and one of our members said that he has got the job descriptions done from for each of the employee of the institute or the industry, whatever it is. Write down. Where is the overlap? Right.
Right, sir. Right. Thank you.
Similarly, if we talk of management as a part of in a manufacturing organization or in a supply chain management, right? Can we reduce the transit time, or can we improve the informations that we get? Can we reduce the number of papers that are being generated? So even if they say no, nothing can be done, no paper can be reduced, at least they have come to know that how many papers are being generated to send one consignment from one place to the other. How much time does it take? Is it better to dispatch the truck in the evening so that it reaches in the morning, or in the afternoon so that it reaches by evening? Whatever it is. Now, some of the industries won't accept the incoming material after 3 o'clock. That means your truck must reach before 3 o'clock. Otherwise, it will be parked for one day. I'm talking of small such projects. Let them go to the industry and learn how the supply chain can be improved, how marketing can be improved, how the process can be improved.
Right, sir. Got the idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it is not technical. Today, the technical person is also a manager. His job is also how to reduce the process time. So that is how we in the management also can find out small projects in every field. Like I said, garment store, inventory control. We might say it is a project of an engineer. No, it is project of an inventory control person. It can be from management, it can be from engineering, it can be from any other field also. So that is how they will understand, one, the real life problems, second, solution to those problems.
Right, sir. Thank you.
I hope, Shutoshji, I am
No,
clarified.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
You have rightly addressed the question, sir. Thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Anybody else who would like to share?
I just want to share one of my experiences from last 3 4 years.
Yeah.
There was one student of mine. He was an average student.
Hmm.
It is purely based on project based learning. That incident I want to share with all of you.
Yeah.
He was below average student.
Hmm.
And in project he was very keen, he was very interested, and he made some robotic based project that time, and he made it in a group with all his interest. And at the time of placements, when we call him, and there were topper students also,
Hmm.
and at that time they were not selected, but that particular student, just because of his project, because he
Yes.
was not mugged anything, and he told everything which he have implemented. That was his mindset. That was project based learning, that you are saying, that if student implement this thing with their own interest, then this is not mugging, they will learn it for lifelong. And he was not well prepared for the interview, but he got selected that time, and he is working at a very good position now. So this all is a very good implementation if we go for project based learning. This is my personal experience with one of my students.
Absolutely right, ma'am. And whenever we go to interview students, unless or until it is for research and development job, we try to find out that which projects he has undertaken the students, what was his involvement. If you ask them five odd questions, they will be we will come to know whether it is they really got involved in the project. And anybody who has done a project, we also waive off the basic condition of 60% marks.
Yes.
Many industries say that the student has to be first class throughout, but based on his interaction, we waive off that condition also.
Mm. That I found in that example only.
Yeah, that
Yes,
is
sir.
what is happening.
That and I also understood from this your lecture that we should also incorporate some short projects within the
Yeah.
course, theory course.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Hmm.
Absolutely. It might be slightly difficult because it requires a lot of devotion to find out the projects, but much easier for the student to learn.
And to make the subject interesting, we should do
Yes,
this.
we should do this.
Yes.
Any one activity in a class will make them attentive.
Yes, yes, definitely. We
Yeah,
also think like this, sir.
right, right, right.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you so much. Anybody else who would like to share?
Friends, just I would also like to share that even in lower classes like 8th, 9th, 10th, in schools, teachers are giving projects to the students for math, physics, chemistry, and they are doing small projects, maybe cardboard projects or some models and like that. So then when they prepare those models or like that small projects, then they come to know each and everything that how this experiment has been done or what is this problem. So even in small classes, lower classes, I will say not that lower classes, 8th, 9th, 10th. So we should promote these activities in our institutions also, because with this, not in that we have only minor and major project work at the end of your program or in the in between, but if possible, to the extent possible, we can also introduce some small projects in our individual subject.
Yeah.
So for that, we will have to take some. We will have to find out that what the students can do. Thank you.
See, absolutely. But see, the curriculum that Dr. Gupta prepares for different institutes, it is a guidelines. Now, how to implement those guidelines through theory or through practical, he has left it to the faculty members, right? So we have to find out innovative ways how to implement those